Okay, so at this point, it is my absolute honor to welcome our next speaker. Dr. Robert Pick is a popular business practice management coach, best-selling author, entrepreneur, practitioner, and professional speaker known for his high energy, fast-moving, motivational, highly educational, ethical, and entertaining program. He is the CEO of the Pick Group, a practice management coaching firm based on ethics and excellence, all designed to yield a happy, healthy, and wealthy practice. Dr. Pick is recognized by Dentistry Today as one of the top 200 leaders in continuing education and has won this honor all 24 years that the award has been given. And let me tell you about Dr. Pick. Okay? He's a real gentleman. The first time I met him, he was super nice to me, and I think he's nice to everybody. But he takes genuine interest in who you are as a person. And I remember when my daughter applied to dental school, I reached out to him, like a typical mom. I said, hey, Dr. Pick, do you know anybody running dental school? And he said, oh, I know a lot of people running dental school. Let me write Jennifer a letter of recommendation. Right? And Dr. Pick had never met Jennifer. And so I went back to my daughter and I said, my friend, Dr. Pick, who teaches at Northwestern, he teaches at a lot of the university. I said, he's going to try to write you a letter of recommendation. And Jennifer said, Mom, I already got the 3 that I need. And I said, let me tell him. So I emailed him and I said, Dr. Pick, Jennifer already has a 3 that she needed. And he said, doesn't matter, I'm writing one anyway. And when he sent the letter to me, half of the letter was about Jennifer, good student, kind of very general information. And the other part was about Jennifer's mom and who she thinks that Jennifer is going to become because he knows, her mom. And to me, that speaks volume because he's always about cheering other people on. He's recognizing you for who you are. And so it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Robert Pick, who's a legend in dentistry.
Thank you. Let's see if my basketball skills are still good. Holy moly. We'll try it off the backboard. Yeah.
Stay with dentistry. Stay with dentistry.
Good thing you know how to pronounce.
Slam dunk, there we go. All right, that's it for the lecture, so hope everybody had a good time. And just kidding. I have them till midnight or 1 a.m.
Yes. 12:30.
12:30, we'll take it. And I could go to 12:30 nonstop, simply because this stuff is exciting to me, it's fun. Wait a couple seconds on something. So we're going to jump right in, and I want to talk about, I know what I forgot. I stuck it in here early this morning, and I want to bring it out. It's a purple cow. And whenever I lecture, the purple cow is always here. You got to separate yourself from the competition. Easy way. With ethics and excellence always. And I'll tell you more about the purple cow later. So let's jump right into some stuff here. With the speak number, get in front of the slide. So first off, a big shout out to Dr. Emily Luttrell. I've been trying to get her to call me Bob for her doctor is a respect thing. I tell her, doctor, this for guys with gray hair and reading glasses, so it can't be me. And today's lecture is going to be Purple Cow Wow. And bam, it's unprecedented practice and business action for unprecedented times. And in my humble opinion, we are living through a time that I never would have predicted. I never would have predicted a pandemic. I never thought politics, but as a proud American, I can't believe what we're living through. I've never seen anything like this: school shootings, stabbings, carjackings. I lived here in Chicago, and every Monday morning on the news, there was 61 shootings and 14 fatalities over the weekend. That is absolutely cuckoo. And so when we're living through these unprecedented times, you gotta crank it in an amazing way. And part of this lecture used to be called Super Powerful Management Secrets, to become a super successful dental business. And how many dentists in the room? So looking for those morons. But if you're running a business, and as you'll see in a second, you always gotta have your clinical hat on first, but you also gotta have your business hat on. And if that business hat isn't on, you and your team are not gonna succeed to the level that you deserve. We work hard in dentistry. Nobody knows what we go through. Nobody sits down in the chair and goes, oh, I can't wait to get an inferior block. The long buckle is my favorite. Can't wait. You know, somebody's off by an eighth of a millimeter on a restoration. Patient complains. My general surgery colleagues in Northwestern, they do some valley surgery. Patient doesn't come back going, oh, my scar's off by an eighth of a millimeter. No, it just doesn't work that way. We work hard. So this is from 2019, and this is the first action for when I spoke to you in New Orleans, and it was March 2019, it was called Powerful Management Secrets to Become a Super Successful Dental Business. And Emily doesn't age. I'm in private practice, and I also have a coaching firm, the PIP Group, and something that I think is important with that is I'm in the trenches, just like everybody else. And when you're in the trenches, you know what everybody goes through, and you can experience things. I have an amazing team. They're qualified 5-star Purple Cow, wow team. They're amazing. We do things that no one would ever believe. You've got to know how to pick the right team, how to get them. That's a whole other lecture. And they've been with me for a very, very, very long time. Somebody who just retired was with me for 32 years. Wow. And neither one of us are in psychiatric care. And one of my quotes is always, I love quotes. I have a book coming out. I can't wait till it gets done. It's called Purple Cow Wow, Unprecedented Practice Action from Unprecedented Times. And you always got to dream big, but always shoot for another solar system. And if you land on Saturn, that's okay. Meaning, if you dream to get across the street, you'll get 5 feet. If you dream to go a mile down, you may get across the street. That's just the way it works. I never thought I would be in practice management. You never know where time takes you. And Kristen, that looks like you in that picture. Could you just grab me a napkin or something here? And so I want to go over a couple things. This is me at age 5 months. I was so fat, you almost look at my fingers. You almost can't even get them together. I got 47 shins. This is me at age 9. And my buddy at Zuckerberg talks about, he goes, Bob has a triple pompadour on my head. I've had it ever since I'm a little kid. And this is me at age 12. I've been playing guitar since I'm 7. And this was my first group as well. We were singing some birthday thing, but we really must have stunk. This girl has her hand on her ears. So that's obviously how bad we were. I used to be a water ski instructor and a professional water skier. We saw a place, I used to work for the Tommy Bartlett Water Show. We got farmed out to a place called Eversink. This was part of the show. Which skis aren't even made anymore. This was me freshman year in dental school. Look at the hair. lot of people don't know, this was 6 months after I finished my residency. I had to borrow these glasses from somebody, they're clear glasses. I was the first person in the world to ever use a laser in the mouth. I co-wrote the first textbook in 1986. I think it's in 18 languages. I've left lasers by 1998 for 1,000 reasons, but the legacy comes back to me. It thrusts me on an international lecture circuit. I used to love playing hoops. Always too early. This is about 1990 at Northwestern. I'm really all the time. I'm teaching a course on pig jaws on how to do stuff. Story's way too long, but I'm a former jet jockey, and I used to fly some friends around. We used to have home, we grab a little Piper, we go out for dinner in different places. And very, very, very honored in 1998, I won the Gordon Christensen Award, outstanding lecturer. And, but it's funny, my friends Linda Miles and Roger Levin told me 30 years ago that I would end up in practice management. And I looked at them and I said, you guys are cuckoo. They were 100% correct, and I said, why? And this happens to be a slide from the lecture I gave at this meeting almost 30 years ago. I was lecturing on perio restorative. This was the last slide, and if you look at it, develop a mission statement, perform preclinical interviews, dress for success. In a million years, I never paid attention to what I was doing. As I mentioned, I've been playing guitar since I'm 7. This was the summer of 1998 in a band I was in. I'm laughing at the leather pants. And when we turned the page, 2 weeks later, my life went black. I had a blowout of my appendix, and I was given less than 6 months to live. It was a cellular adenocarcinoma in my appendix, one of the rarest tumors known to man. I was the first one ever at Northwestern, and I'll tell you why I'm sweating, because it's one of the side effects from the chemo I was on, because I'm not nervous up here, as you can probably tell. One of my mentors came in and said, we think you have less than 6 months to live. We've never seen an appendix cancer at Northwestern. We don't know what to do. We're worried about spread. They took part of my intestine out the next day. And 2 weeks later, sat down with Al Benson, who's now a world famous oncologist. I thought Al was very smart. No personality when he talks to, and he's up there like, Al, I'm down here, dude. I signed off on 41 side effects that they could get me. I went through 14 months of experimental chemotherapy and radiation, never done on a humanoid before. Every Friday for 14 months for 2 hours on a Friday afternoon chemo. In the middle, 3 months of radiation, each month a different radiation beam, never done on a human before. And during those 90 days, a chemo pack going in 24/7. And side effect number 7 got me about maybe 12, 13 years ago. I was walking across the street with a couple of buddies and I fell down. And I'm like, what the shit? And they go, pig's getting older. Kept happening, long story short, it was side effect 7. From the radiation damage at the level of the appendix, they were worried I could have a weakness on my right side, got me. Side effect 41 was loss of cilia. 7 years ago, 2 weeks before a sold-out ballroom at Midwinter Meeting, I woke up completely deaf, unable to hear. My cilia went dead. And I had 1% left in my right ear, so I have a cochlear implant. My buddy Nathan Ho calls it the hearing aid the size of West Texas. I hate it. I have 6 in the left ear, so I decided not to get a second one in case some research comes along. Sure enough, one of our buddies at Northwestern believes he can reactivate cilia, because once you have a cochlear implant, everything's completely dead. Side effect 14 was they were worried I could have unusual perspiration, which I have. You can tell I'm sweating up here. And, I love lecturing, it just is what it is, but 25 years later, here I am.
Wow.
And in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. That's a great quote by some dude by the name of Al Einstein. And at that time, I sort of sat down, realized I needed to reset my clock in 4,000 different ways. Had a practice partnership that I knew wasn't working. I bought him out within 10 days. For many reasons, great paradox, great person, just wasn't meant to be. Just tried to improve. And left Lasers immediately, went into practice management, got myself a coach. I signed off on a secrecy agreement on 2 of my mentors that until they die, I can't tell you who their coach was, although I mentioned 2 of them to you. And I'm gonna get sued. And but from that, a year later, I developed something called the PBR, Pick Business Team Building Retreat. We'll talk about that. It's use a retreat to become a Fortune 500 dental business, and, which is huge. So when we work on that, might be driving nuts if I move to the other side. Let me stay right here.
Yeah, you're fine.
I appreciate Kristen being here. Kristen is one of my executive assistants. She's also on what's called PRC, SNC, which I'll explain in a minute. And there's millionaires. If you ever told me that someone would accompany me to a meeting in case I can't hear something, I would say, wait, who? And so Kristen, appreciate you being here. Let's talk about Purple Cow. And it's a book, comes from a book by name of Seth Godin, which is Purple Cow. If you're ever up in Wisconsin, every cow is black and white. They all look the same, just try it. All of a sudden you saw a purple cow. Slam on your brakes, you take pictures, there'll be people taking video, there'll be a traffic jam, it's Purple Cow. And all of this came from me doing a webinar with my buddy Nathan Ho. And he goes, I was using a virtual background for some reason. He goes, what's that little purple book behind you? And I said, Purple Cow. He goes, you're the Purple Cow. Well, hold on. And I looked at him like it was cool. But you gotta be Purple Cow in anything you do. In any profession, period. And the key to success is finding a way to stand out. You've got to separate yourself, you've got to make yourself purple. As a coach, when I go online and I look at websites and dentists, I'll say the same thing. Somehow everybody went to the most prestigious dental school, somehow they all graduated from the top 5 of their class, they all do this, they do CEREC and Invisalign, into oral hemorrhoidectomies, blah, 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 but what do you do different than anybody else? What separates you from the crowd, period. And when you do have a Purple Cow, I'll show you a couple of things we do. Get your 5-star Google reviews in 5 seconds. And you want 5-star reviews that are great, that are awesome. I'm not perfect, but I chuckle when I see some of these offices, they have like 3,000 Google reviews, and they may only have 600 patients. And I'm like, what the heck? And so it's very funny to me. So,
Yeah, how do they do that?
it's exceptional. It's new. Wow, that's really cool, man. Electric vehicles, when they first come out, holy, you have to get gas. Everybody thought Musk was nuts. I wrote a blog the other day that I feel 40 years from now, I have the new stories way too long, I have to restore old Corvettes. And 40 years from now, if I'm still alive, I'll have to know where some electronic charging station has gas still to put in my vehicle. Everything will be electric, hands down. Tesla, I'm not a financial advisor, so I think I would say for finances is through value attainment. Listen, sometimes I don't listen to my mentors, but since I've had Tesla as a stock, it's going over 1,000%. 1,000% at Google. And I call it the millionaire maker. It's purple, boring stuff is routine, typical black and white color. So I'm purple there now. And I almost wore purple shoes today. And you must develop it. I don't care, you're in practical business, you've got to develop your Purple Cow wows in every aspect of everything that you do. And remember, it's your dental business. You're running business, period, and basic business principles have to apply. God, this is a pain in the butt. Anyhow, I probably should lecture in Alaska, Kristen.
Yeah.
Look, anyhow, it drives me cuckoo. And bam. We have new editor in economics now, but when Chris was the editor in May of 2021, he calls me up about a week before the thing's gonna come out, and he says, "Oh my God, dude, you're gonna love the next issue." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Everyone tell you till it shows up in your mailbox." And, sticking out. And boy, is it true, sticking out. And everybody says the same thing. My guy would get nuts. So sticking out, huge. If you're not on my Purple Cow Wow Facebook group, get on there. There's a link to it. We do all kinds of super cool, awesome stuff. Every Sunday night I go live for about a half hour with tips and tricks. Thursday night is interview time with industry leaders and experts. Last night I interviewed for the Mentor, Laura Brenda, and the Mentor podcast, and just a lot of fun. Next week is Lonnie Grass, who's a coach, and all kinds of fun people coming up. And so every Monday morning at East Central Time here at 6:20 is Monday Morning Motivation. Tuesday is Thumbs Up Tuesday, and Wednesday is Wacky Wednesday. Something fun, a question that you're like, oh my God. So go live every Sunday night, I do interviews, and you never know who's gonna be there. In August, I'm doing round 3 with Ed. He's the Chief Dental Officer at a company called Viome, V-I-O-M-E, and they're working on a vaccine to get rid of P. gingivalis, which is a bug found in gum disease that we know absolutely is also seen in Alzheimer's. And so the mouth-body connection, whenever I lecture with him, is hysterical. His first slide was didn't floss. And I've known Ed since 1991, where I lectured for a study club he ran. And I remember, that's before Waze, and before the internet. I rented a car at the airport, and I'm driving, and I'm like, God, I'm gonna buy this address like 10 times. So I finally stopped, it was a house. He goes, oh, I should have told you, my office is attached to my house. And so you walk past his family room into the office, a little too close for me, but a lot of fun. And at that time, I got a very cute picture of Ed's son, Mark, who's CEO of Facebook, sold his sister, and we're all doing this. Tease Mark to this day that if the stock doesn't keep going up, I'm going to put that picture out on Medium. And that's another stock boy. Meta, as you know, it's no longer called Facebook, it's Meta. The last, I think, 3 months, it's gone almost 56%. That's crazy. If you have $100 in 3 months, you got now $156. And it goes from there. It's an amazing way to make money. In my opinion, the second best way, the number one way is real estate. It was Dave Maddow, a lot of fun. I run a mastermind, and if anybody's interested in something that meets every Friday, well, it meets once a month on a Friday for 3 hours with CE for 1 year. Surprise guest speakers, so we cover everything you gotta do to make a practice happen. And everybody doing good?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, anything, I always tell everybody, when we start the mastermind, that each session, everything we talk about allows them to take action. Action yields differentiation, which yields success, which yields freedom. And freedom, people, yields money. There is nothing wrong with money. And I will never forget lecturing in 1987. The American Dental Association was called up in Congress. I was there because I pioneered lasers. Some non-dental people who got committed suicide last year. Tony Bourdain was there. Became a very, very well-known chef. And we're at dinner later on, and this one guy keeps talking about, too many speakers talking about money, 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 money. So Zig Ziglar was also one of the speakers. I don't know if you guys know Zig. He kicks me under the table and he goes, walks in, reaches into his pocket, pulls out the biggest wad of $100 bills I've ever seen. And he goes, I like to smell of money. He smells it again. Yeah, it smells good. Puts it in his pocket. I like the bulge it creates in my pocket. My wife likes it a lot. It allows me to do anything I want to do. He looks at the guy and goes, son, money, 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 money is all right. And I've been accused of that when I lecture and I say, hey, I know for sure I was given less than 6 months to live. But money can buy the best physicians, the best everybody. It gives you freedom, it gives you space. If you have to stop, you got to have at least 6 months of personal overhead, practice overhead, stuck away for disasters. And you never know. Money buys freedom. I check out, it allows Northwestern to have a Rockhead Cancer Cure Center. No research. If it isn't involved for a cure, money can't be used. Section of that go through what I read through, it's cuckoo. We do not have a cure for cancer. And there's 6 of us that are all on staff at Northwestern. I'm the only dentist. We're there. It's like a 10-minute recording. It's for physicians 10, 20, 30, 40, 500 years down the line to watch what happened to us. My buddy Ed is a dermatologist who lost both his legs to a very rare cancer about 20 years ago. And I look at the thing and I say, look at me. I get up and I walk. I show the every day. I'm sweating. I say, whoo, what I went through. And I said, I hope in the future there's a Starbucks commercial. And 2 ladies are sitting there and one says to the other, how was your week last week? I had breast cancer, but I had the breast X and I'm fine. As if it was nothing. We got to cure this ridiculousness. So don't forget, money buys freedom. Whoa. And everything always has to be based on ethics versus excellence. And if you don't have ethics versus excellence, nothing's going to work, man. It's so important, you have no idea. Are we doing okay? Oh, it freaks everybody out. Just open the curtains on me, huh? One of my quotes is in the couple of strong performance is unstoppable. And I want you to think about that. Image, strong performance, unstoppable. There's not a person on planet Earth, when I think of people that have this type of image, all I gotta do is say MJ, and everybody knows it's Michael Jordan. Always dressed well, performance on the court was unbelievable. And so success, I hate when they Photoshop him into my body. I don't know why they do that. Tony Robbins, and he's wearing a purple tie, man. Tony is phenomenally successful. He has his own jet. It's great. I need to go here tomorrow. I don't have to worry about going to the airport, doing stuff. It's phenomenal. And this is so much fun. I see people like this. This is getting into an exercise. Everybody stand up for a second. Put your hands in the air. All right, you can sit back down. That's how they do these promo slides. It's pretty funny. And I learned that from somebody a long time ago, Cyril. Everybody doing okay still?
Yes.
Yeah, groovy. Here's a quote from Tony. Every one of my team members knows this. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. Think about that. Right? And I love this from Steve Martin. Be so good. Can't ignore him. Comes from an interview he did. And the guy's interviewing him and he says, what should young comedians know? He goes, oh, they come up to me and go, how do I get an agent? How do I write a script? How do I stand on stage? And he says, I say to them, just be so good, can't ignore you. And I agree with that 1,000%. Okay. Michael Jordan's a classic example. Couldn't ignore him. All right, my lecturer, whether it's virtual, half day, all day, there's a big group, top secrets. Top secret number 15, there's 4 things you gotta have. have a successful practice, excellent skill set, effective business systems, great team and great team environment, that's huge. Ooh. And it's gotta be purple, and you gotta have relationship and communication. And when you got that, everything works. I wrote an article maybe 3 years ago on this, it's chapter 11 of my upcoming book. It's called The Twin Towers, and I'm still going to change the title, because Twin Towers, I think of New York and that sort of stuff. But when you come out of dental school, you sort of have a basement and maybe 5 stories in the clinical skill. Over time, you got to develop it into the biggest skyscraper known to man with unbelievable architecture, by taking unbelievable courses, doing what you do better than anybody else. Right next door, you got to have a business tower. When you come out of dental school, you don't even have a sub-basement. But you got to build them, build them, build them, build them. And you want the competition to go, holy moly, okay? So, remember, your skill set, you can be the best dentist in the world, graduate one new class, not look for Lucien Amorage or anybody else. But your skill set will not make you successful. What will? You your attention to the business side of practice. Fortune 500. And I want you to always think about that, Fortune 500. There's a reason Fortune 500 companies are Fortune 500 companies. They're doing something right. And as I mentioned when I introduced Emily, don't be jealous of things that are successful. There's a reason they're successful. See if you can put your own spin on it and rank it. Bam. How smart dentists do one thing differently. They get patients to say yes. And about a year ago, I was speaking for Paul Goodman and one of the super dentists, Team Business Boosts. And I said, I don't know if anybody believes it, but I have 100% case acceptance rate. And it's really true. One time somebody doesn't go through treatment of some sort of financial problem, we can work around that. But we do things that some of my early mentors taught me that most dentists don't do. It just is what it is. It's how we're trained. And top secret number 8 is the power of relationship building. When you have a relationship with somebody, trust becomes involved. And let's face it, you're more apt to get screwed, if you will, by people you have a relationship with. Relationships are key to success. It's a must-have with the patients, it's a must-have with the team. They're specialists in a room like me, it's a must-have with my referral teams. It's all about relationships. And it starts with, you gotta love yourself first. And if you love yourself first, you can begin to love everybody else. Everybody grab your arm and go like this. Come on. Give yourself a big kiss. Okay. You now love yourself first. How about that? Right? So love yourself and attention. This is one of the number one things we do that causes 100% success rate. 100%. The preclinical interview. This was taught to me early on by one of my early mentors by the name of Pete Dawson. And when you took his class, it's a different story, but when Pete mentored you, oh my God, the F word came out of his mouth every 5 seconds. It was like, if you don't do this, you're not here. And he goes, if you don't do the preclinical interview, you're done. Most dentists, we meet the patient in the dental chair. Walk in the room, how are you? Dr. Bill and Phil. We do this, that, and this today. I meet all new patients in a preclinical interview room away from the dental chair. Most patients, I don't care if they're 19, 90, 40, 60, they go to Google reviews first when they're referred. They go to your website to see what's going on. You gotta have an amazing website. You gotta have video banners. You gotta have video testimonials. I have them like DocSites.com is a great website company. And this all begins in here. My team member that grabs the patient within 2 seconds knows their personality profile. I don't have time to go into it here, but people are either a driver, we're the highway. They can be expressive, they can be kind of amiable, or they can be highly analytical like Mr. Spock. And we usually primary, secondary. If you know how to work with them, you begin to sort of imitate them. And then the patient, the assistant brings the patient in a room that looks like this. This is my preclinical interview room. It's about half the size of an operatory. And the door is right where the picture is being taken. And the patient sits down, my assistant sits over there, I sit here, and I can begin to know what's going on. And if I got Mr. Spock sitting in the chair there, we're gonna talk about implants, and they're gonna be 4.278 microns, so we put them in. I can give you 47 articles on how it's done, blah, blah, blah. I don't talk politics, but I've got Donald Trump sitting there. This is gonna maximize time where to get the thing right away. Everything we're gonna do is gonna be huge. Okay, let's go. I'm talking that person's language. And there's warts on the wall, there's all kinds of stuff. God, I hate that hearing device. Patient sits down, first thing they see is Robert Ed Pick's Patient Education 2023. I can go in 4,000 slides in here and hi everybody, and educate them. If they're analyticals, I'm gonna spend more time. And this can take 5 minutes, this can take 40 minutes. All of our new patient exams are an hour. And if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And to go back to the preclinical interview for a sec, the last question I ask is, before we bring you to a room, do you have any questions for me about my training, my team, or anything we're doing? They kind of go like this and go, no, let's go. You haven't even examined the patient yet, and I guarantee that I could get them signed up for treatment. That's a purple cow, wow. Okay, you separate yourself from everybody else. Top secret number 007, the PBR, the PIC Business Team Building Retreat. And this came from 98 when I got sick, one of my practice partner. I hired a coach for 2 years. We did some retreats. A year later, I said, I'm going to take the systems and crank them. And I remembered early on when I pioneered lasers, there were times I would do the Fortune 500 company that wanted to get into the laser business. And I remember meeting Jack Welch, who was the CEO of GE at the time. I'm going, who's Jack Welch? But I remembered these Fortune 500 companies did stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to imitate them. And so he was accused of a Fortune 500 done business. I published on this in Dentistry Today in October 2018. In 2 months, it became the second most read article that year. The number one read article that year happens to be by Emily. But as it sits current, it's the second most read article in Dentistry Today. It's over 34,000 views. I'm catching a Roger Levin article at 37. And I keep telling Roger to look in his rearview mirror. So the PBR is an all-day event. Yeah, it starts out, the premier one's probably a day event. After the first year, from 1999, all of our PBRs are 2 days away from the office with my team. Going away as a boss to pretend to a Fortune 500 company. I know moving quick, but I don't want to have your 12:30. And you want to pretend that you and your team are working for one of the 100 best companies to work for. Why not? And remember, basic principles of Fortune 500 companies adhere to dental businesses never subscribe to. Okay, there's a reason they are Fortune 500. That's my New York plane. So here's the article. Kristen, you're on the cover of that thing, And I always have fun with my team. On this particular PBR, my boss thinks I'm kind of a big deal. Everybody gets one of those cups and you blows everybody away. Great article. Here's a classic example. I love when on your phone, on my iPhone, things come up. This came up about 2 weeks ago, and I got a copy of it. This was from one of our retreats in 2019. We go about, I practice out in Naperville. We go about 4 blocks south of the office to White Eagle Golf Club. Everybody gets a binder. When I coach others, they get a binder. And it has articles, it has all kinds of things. Every one of my team members knows how to read a scientific article. because we want to make sure we're doing what we do better and up to date than anybody else. There's handouts. Everything starts with a fun raffle. It makes for a great endorphin high. Okay? You know, throughout the day, there's also fun raffles. You pick the second Seen on TV gag gift, and it opens it up, and it's like, I don't know, those things are seen on TV, I don't know, something fun and cuckoo. First thing that's done is I talk, my office manager talks, we then immediately look at year-to-date. We look at our numbers for the last 2 years, production, collection. Each department reports. And that starts with the office manager, my admin team, the hygienist, the assistant, everybody, every person in each team has about 20 minutes. And the PRCSMC, who knows what a PRCSMC is? It's become one of the most amazing positions that you've got to have. I don't care if you're a private general practitioner, specialist, I don't care what you are, you gotta do it. And let's talk about what the PRCSMC is: public relations coordinator, social media coordinator. Mine is Kristen, right there. I don't have time during the day to do social media posts. I don't have time to be banging on doors. It's a must-have today, period. It's your office rep. And if you think about it, a good office rep knows how to get through the door. A good office rep knows how to sell the product. And you like that office rep. So if that person, your office rep, well, they visit schools, businesses, they get magazine articles, senior homes, things that no one else thinks of. Coordinate study clubs, they coordinate all the marketing. And for specialists, they visit referring offices, medical offices, a great way to get patients. Gotta have social media. Patients like your social media. And if you have an older crowd, you're gonna be more likely to be on Facebook, younger crowd Instagram. We have both because our crowds are mixed. And so you've got to have the social media coordinator. You've got to have it. And what's a mind blow though, this is from last year, only 30% of practices have a Facebook page. That blew my mind when I saw that stat. You've got to have one. It helps you name whether you like it or not. And so it just is what it is. So, and there we go. We go live on Facebook all the time. My hygienist Vanessa did a series, the mouth body connection, that looks like this. See if I get it right.
Hello everyone, Vanessa here from Progressive Periodontics and Implants. I am one of Dr. Pick's dental hygienists. I'd like to invite you to a series of educational videos that we have branded our Hygiene Connection, where we will discuss the importance of your oral health and...
Stop there, but you get the idea. She did a series on the mouth body connection. The first one got 680 views in 3 days. That's a mind blow. Talk about video in a second. It's one of your biggest verbal powwows you can ever do. You gotta have brainstorming. You gotta have group participation, breakout sessions, team reports. You gotta listen. You gotta develop your purple cow wows. You gotta work with your team, and every time I do a PPR or I coach a team, they get a PPR assignment. But what the team thinks the doctor and the team have is their biggest purple cow wows, and what should they be doing that they're not. Ideas that blow everybody away, makes it remarkable, allows you to stand out. It's awesomeness. Top secret number 44, and a good one. SWAT. Does anybody know what a SWAT is? It's not a police team. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And you go around the room, you know, somebody has like a, you know, the big sticky thing over here, and somebody comes up, strengths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You do a round robin. Strengths tend to come from within, very positive, and you try to make them stronger, what you should be looking at, then you do weaknesses, try to make the weaknesses less or eliminate them, opportunities, what should we be doing or not, and threats. Oh my God, this dude's opening up in a building, holy moly, I can't stand this person. So strengths, weakness, opportunity, threats. And we take the sticker off and stick it around the room so everybody can see it for 2 days, which you do it on day 1. And if you get really comfortable with yourself, you can do a personal SWOT where your team does the strength, weakness, opportunity, threats on you. And I carry my weaknesses in my case. It's right next to Kristen. I look at it all the time when I do the weaknesses. I go, oh God, I know exactly what they're going to come up with. ADHD, needs to focus better, needs to call my friends every day. And I know it. I try to improve upon it. So a stew, which is satisfy the customer team maximize the wow factor in all that you do. And you gotta read your dental journals, but you gotta read business journals. I discovered the stew in the Harvard Business Review. I was reading it one day and I saw a stew, and I'm like, that's cool. So we do a stew as well, personal SWOT, if you're comfortable. You gotta develop a mission, a vision, and a culture statement. Most dental practices, most businesses do not have a mission statement. They don't have a culture statement, a vision. Every one of my team members can tell you each sentence in our mission, vision, culture. And every once in a while in the morning, talk about somebody's earned, Vanessa, what's the second sentence in our vision? Boom, comes right out of her mouth. And by knowing it, it helps, it's amazing, it helps everything going. One of my buddies went to a very successful Italian restaurant. And I tell him all the time, dude, you gotta develop a mission, a vision, and a culture statement. Okay? And might think myself, well, but you'll have to go back and discover why. So gotta have a mission, vision, culture, and that mission, vision, culture statement also sits in our preclinical interview room, almost right next to the patient, so they can see it. And I still are doing okay. All right, you got to develop your why. Simon Sinek came up with this. Why do you do what you do? Got to develop your brand. It's called USP in business, unique selling proposition. Every Fortune 500 company knows their brand. They know what they do better than anybody else, period. And most dentists have never taken the time to develop the brand. And you can't be everything to everyone. If you know what you do better than anybody else, and you figure out your Google Colorado with that, you'll blow the competition away. Elon Musk, for some electric company, and, start to see Teslas everywhere. So it knows his USP, and there can be many USPs, many unique selling propositions. There could be a team. Yeah, power of branding. When you know your brand, man. Starbucks coffee, my office manager Diana lives in Starbucks. She keeps my stock going. Everybody walks through a Starbucks line, even through, tough times right now, self-inflation. That'd be $6.51 for your Starbucks coffee, whatever it is. Where you could go to Dunkin' Donuts and it's about 50 or something. Branding works, man. And what's going through my head, and I don't have a lot of time, but when you think about it, somebody goes into a single Ford dealer, wants to buy a Ford car, and they go into 2023, it's time to buy it right now. They come back a year later, I want to buy that car. Can I get it for the same price last year? He looks at it, probably in the brain, they're going, are you cuckoo? The price went up. And went up from the year before, and went up from the year before, and went up from the year before. Most dentists don't raise their fees enough. And if you know what you're doing, patients are going to pay. I decided a long time ago on fee for service. I do not take insurance. I hate insurance. It's a joke. It's a rip-off. It's hard to believe what dentists put up with. This Friday, I got price on Friday, this Thursday, I got a double all on 4. everything is done, maybe paid close to $60,000 to $70,000 money. She doesn't take care of herself very well. We've already hooked up with a spa. We're gonna send her there for a day event. We do her hair, her makeup, that sort of stuff, to make her look like what she should look like. No, we can't talk about Emily anymore. Just kidding. So you've got to develop your practice goals and the method to achieve them. And if you don't got the method, it ain't gonna work. Articles I talked about, motivational videos, team building exercises, you choreograph all your moves there. How to ask patients for 5-star Google reviews. Look, this is a blast. This is from our own PBR about a year ago. And when I do a premier PBR for somebody, we always do the snake. It's one of the best team building exercises on the planet. Wait till you see this. Is everybody ready? Okay, Kristen, it's your show. That's Kristen all the way in the back. You'll see her in a second. She's tapping on her shoulders, and the person taps on the next shoulder. So if you're tapping left, you go left. Tap right, you go right. Hang on. You got to put the thing in the bucket. Oh my God, that may be the funniest one yet. You see all the hand motions. And he's kidding. Yay! All right. Oh my God, too much fun. If you don't think that's an endorphin high that puts your team together, man, I don't know what is. I have 11 minutes.
It's 11 o'clock.
Oh, I have 5 minutes? Oh, shit. I'm in trouble. I gotta move really quick. You gotta appreciate giving me more minutes. Oh, because I wanna get the video. Video is amazing, 10 minutes. Whenever we do a PBR on the end of day one, I give everybody a book. This is from about 4 years ago. Everybody got rich yet? We're dead. Last time I got 7 habits of successful people. Team surprises are huge. Last summer, our PBR, at the end of the day, I had speaker this and article that. And about 3 o'clock, I said to everybody, this is all bullshit, excuse the French. Reach under your chair. Everybody had, I think, $300 or something, and $500 in an envelope. We went to a discount mall in their office, and everybody went shopping for an hour and a half, 90 minutes only. They had to come back and show what they bought. Vanessa bought 3 bigs, so you got to blow your team away. Group team tests we have all the time. Copy it. It's a great article. I'm going to go really quick, but when people least expect it, I'll put, man, we had an awesome day today. I love you all. We had 6 referrals today, blah, blah, blah. And when your team member writes something like, oh, come on. Thank you, Dr. Pick. When you love your job and love the people you work with, it's an easy gizmo. This was great. The other day I realized I was going to leave before Vanessa. So I quickly ran back and I wrote a note and I stuck it on the back door that we all leave through. And it was the anniversary that day. We celebrated everybody's anniversary with a gift card and stuff. So Vanessa, happy anniversary again. I'm glad you're my friend. You're the best hygienist ever. I think it blew her away. And I got a thing about 10 minutes later. Oh my God, thank you, Dr. Pitt, just what I needed with a heart. So we blow the person away and surprise people. Is this something we can go to? Yes. All right, can I move any faster? Number 10, video. All right, this is towards the end. Video, people, engages 1,200 times greater than text. got $1,200 sitting on the table, and you multiply it by 1,200, you got $2,400,000. So 1,200 times greater than text. So I love video. And I'm just gonna go through, I'm just gonna stick to that. That's a video I send, I do surprise videos. This is high five, 5-star Global Colorado team. We had an awesome day today, can't wait to see you on Monday, blah, blah, blah. So you've got an idea, but I want to get to what is so important. Top secret number 11, the PIC post-procedural video check, triple PVC. This has become one of our biggest ROIs, return on investment. And here's what the patient gets. We called everybody the night of surgery, night of procedures. Doesn't matter what you do, you get a shot, give it something, you gotta call them, we got a call sheet. But the next morning, right after the huddle, 2 of my team members stay with me, and we do a video thing, 50 seconds or less, because some carriers don't allow 50 seconds more. And then at 11:30 to 11:45 a.m., we send that video to that person checking on them. Okay? So the patient gets something like this on their phone. Hi Kelly, it's Dr. Piketty checking on you. Please see the video. So here's the video that they get. And I wanted to skip, make sure we get to this. Hi Kelly, it's Dr. Botnick. And we call this our post-surgical video check. And I'm here with my surgical assistant team, Gosha and Nina. And never fun to sit where you're sitting, but I am so glad that was done. I'm glad the pictures didn't gross you out. From my end, everything came out very smooth. Some tenderness for a day or so can be normal. And I'm always so glad Dr. Connors your dentist. Any problems, date or night, 630-898-5575. We're not here, have me paged. This is my cell, 773-230-5211. Please feel free to text back. Let me know you're doing okay. And from Gosha.
Hope you're doing good. See you next week.
And Nina.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
All right, bye. So that goes out at about 11:30, 11:45 on purpose, because most people are going to show that to their colleagues at lunch. Here's a typical text back. I've never received a wellness check from a doctor. You rock, best team ever. That's so awesome. You guys make me feel pretty special. Coolest and most doctor team ever. This video is so cool. This video made our day. I'm doing good, a little sore. Dr. Vivian Gosha, thank you for checking on me. I feel fortunate to have your team. I know I'm going fast. Melted last night, making my husband wait on me. Hello, my dear Dr. Vivian Gosha, thrilled to receive this level of professionalism from your super staff. Doesn't get any better than that, and we get stuff like this back. I have a referral to send me a business card. Mind blowing. Look. And you get video responses from people. And this was a media implant we did, and we got this the next day.
Hello, Dr. Pick and Gosha. That was the sweetest and kindest and coolest message. We all loved it. This is my husband, Rusty.
My wife cannot stop talking about you and your team. Thank you so very much for taking care of her.
Incredible, incredible. I'm doing well, and I thank you all very, very much. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Thank you so much.
Your message was awesome.
Doesn't get any better than that. So, about 2 more minutes, that's what it looks like when we do it. You've got to have a phone stabilizer, so you're not like shaking. Published on this and done economics in 18, that will tell you how to do it. And don't forget, when you walk in your door, it is showtime. I don't care what kind of mood you're in. I don't care, what you had. Showtime when you walk through the door. And you are gonna win the purple cow, but here's why. When she walked in, first thing I noticed was image. And I said to Kristen, she got a pedicure, manicure, it's done well, she's dressed well, she looks in the mirror before she walks out the door, it's not overdone. Am I wrong? Am I embarrassing you?
Yeah.
But those are little things that I look for. If I'm interviewing somebody, I want to look at their swagger, what they look like, what they're wearing, what's going on. It tells me a lot about the person. And so, well, but we also have the inflator and deflator for you. So
Yeah,
you
Monica.
win. You gotta give the purple cow. You're welcome.
I look like a lot of those, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You gotta grab the purple cow.
Thank you, yeah.
Look, crash.
That's adorable. Yeah.
Goodbye. All right. Holy moly, I think we did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, and make every day your masterpiece.
I got a question
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
So, you're very charismatic, obviously, and, you know, you've built a practice that has your energy and so forth. You and I are not gonna be around forever. How do we hand this down to somebody, that culture, that energy?
Hey, hang on once. Is yours?
I don't think that's you, I think that's.
Hang on one.
It was interference with the microphone.
Yeah, hang on. Something, I'm charismatic, that's where I lost you.
Oh,
Yeah, this is.
how do you, you know, we're not gonna be around forever, so how do we hand over that energy? And what are you doing to hand over that energy to the next person who's gonna take over your practice?
Well, I plug my finger into the electric socket in the morning. No, and it's a great question that, you mean, how do I deliver it to somebody else to carry on?
Have you started to do that?
To some extent, because that's what my coaching is about. That's what Purple Cow Wow Facebook group is about. And, but also what's important to know when I coach is I want everybody to do Purple Cow Wows, but everybody's personality is different. You gotta know who you're dealing with, because if you have somebody that's kind of very analytical and, this, that, and the other thing, they may not be the best person to have on a live video. Hi, I'm Joe Blow, and I like literature, and I can tell you about 2.75 minutes from now. You gotta either teach that person up a different way, or someone else on the team jump in and do what it has to do. So it's what my coaching is about, it's what my book is about, it's every live I do, every speaking gig I do, is always to help others super succeed, which had afterburners on, because I never want anybody to make the mistakes I made. And the afterburner comes out when the throttle's at full speed, so what's on the afterburner button? No. Full speed, and the right aircraft, the afterburner comes on. You fly, man. So it's a matter of putting all of it together, so you become the Purple Cow Wow with everything that you do. But just by the fact you're asking the question, puts you in a scenario that you're probably thinking, I have to do something on the Purple Cow. And it means, I had a guy that was in my mastermind about 2 years ago, and he goes, you know, I'm gonna be selling my practice in a year, why should I be in the mastermind? I said, great question, because when you sell your practice, you can sell it for more money. And he goes, I'm in. Yeah, he still hasn't sold it, but he's gonna sell it for more money, so I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I'd like to step away from hands-on and find, I don't know where to find these people that they're going into corporate dentistry, and it's tough to find someone that has that energy, charisma to take over the culture that you created.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
Look me up on Facebook and friend me, and I'll get you some stuff.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Kristen, can you give her the flavor?
Oh, yes, of course. The important thing.
There you go.
So you can travel with it.
Thank you. you, Emily.
That's really good.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. He'll love that.
Yeah, that was excellent. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
That was excellent.